Hey y'all, here's a cool logic puzzle. We have three boxes, one with apples, one with oranges, and one with both apples and oranges. Here's the catch. All of the boxes are labeled incorrectly. Your task is to determine the true contents of each box by choosing just one fruit from just one box. So how do you do it? Take a second and think about it on your own, and I'll tell you the solution in 3, 2, 1. So let's think about what could be in each box. Since each box was labeled incorrectly, the box with apples can't have just apples in it. It's got to have just oranges or apples and oranges. Similarly, the box labeled orange can't have just oranges. It's got to either be just apples or apples and oranges. And the box labeled apples and oranges can't have apples and oranges, so it's got to be just apples or just oranges. So let's think about what would happen if we drew a fruit from the first box. If we got an apple from the first box, then it would have to be the box with apples and oranges. But if we got an orange, it could be the box of oranges, or it could be the box of apples and oranges. So that's not super helpful. And if we drew an orange from the second box, then it would have to be apples and oranges. But if we got an apple, well, then we wouldn't know if it was just apples or if it was apples and oranges. So that's not helpful for us either. So let's look at the third box. Let's think about what would happen if we got an orange out of the third box. Well, if we got an orange out of the third box, then it would have to be the box with just oranges. And if it's the box with just oranges, that means the first box can't have just oranges, so it's got to be the box with apples and oranges. And if the first box has apples and oranges, then the second box can't have apples and oranges, so it has to be the box of just apples. So if we get an orange from the third box, then the first box has apples and oranges, the second box has just apples, and the third box has just oranges. Now let's think about what would happen if we got an apple from the third box. If we got an apple from the third box, then we would know it would be the box of just apples, not the box of just oranges. And if the third box has just apples, then the second box can't have just apples. It's got to be the box of apples and oranges. And if the second box has apples and oranges, the first box can't have apples and oranges. It's got to have just oranges. So the first box has just oranges, the second box has apples and oranges, and the third box has just apples. So either way, if we get an orange or an apple from the third box, we can determine the true contents of every single box without even looking in them. And that's some pretty cool stuff.